Good afternoon, on what is a surprisingly warm, bright and sunny day. It is Thursday the 15th of February and I'm in the reading Nook with a nice hot cup of tea and a parcel to unbox. Just get the knife on this. There we go. And what I've got in here is this. Which is Rhand Morningstar Missions. So, a complete fantasy role-playing game on the world of Rhand. Rhand is a fallen world, a world at war. Shattered humanity retreats each year before a wave of ice. Driven by hunger, the cultures of Rhand fight among themselves the planet's dwindling resources, slowly reverting to complete barbarism. The faceless inhuman spectrals stalk through the ruins, existing only to destroy humanity. In the chaos, the only real stability lies in the city-states, small nations struggling to survive in a land of ice, war and hatred. Beleaguered and isolated, the city-states, and indeed all of Rhand, have only one hope for the future: the Orca. An elite group of heroes and healers, the Orca is the last chance for life and civilization. In a world gone mad, join the Orca and enter the elemental battle for the fate of Rhand as you encounter the wily Janetta, master horsemen and rulers of the plains, deal with the Cloghardy, subtle and powerful humans who wrest life out of the Icelands, and the reclusive Vid in their battle to save the vanishing forests they made their homes, combat the vistas of warped, malevolent creatures that were more once humans, pursue the twisted people who call themselves Blades, madmen who betrayed their folk and their race for greed, power and hatred, battle the jet black, unthinking spectrals, the enemies of life, all life on Rhand. And Rhand Morningstar Missions gives you more than alien cultures, fascinating opponents in the glory of the orchestra to save the world, gives you a revolution in game design, the unique rule system that puts you on the battlefield. In the case of the battle, you must stab, slash, duck and parry. Aim your blows where you wish, the limbs, the heads, or even the heart. Battle down your opponent's shield to create an opening for an ally. Drag an enemy from horseback and continue the fight with or without weapons. Feel the tension of the bowstring on your fingertips. Wield the forces of magic, the powers of the elements, and a full range of mental abilities. Master any skills you wish by study or field of experience. Join the revolution in game design and move up to the leading edge. That promises a lot in quite a slim book. So, Rhand Morningstar Missions. This is the first role-playing game designed and published by Leading Edge Designs, best known for really two role-playing games. One is Phoenix Command, which was essentially a firearms combat system. Started off with modern and then deviated to Wild West and science fiction and so on. And then the Aliens role-playing game, again using a variant of the Phoenix Command system, but focusing really upon the period depicted on screen in the Aliens film. So, really Phoenix Command and Aliens and really the other role-playing games that Leading Edge Design are examples of role-playing games designed by a rocket engineer, rocket scientist, because essentially the designer Barry Nazenko or something like that, I can't remember, it's not listed in here where I can see, did work for NASA. So what was I saying? And the other thing is with Rhand Morningstar Missions, this is essentially the sequel to Living Still. Living Still was a later role-playing game in which the world of Rhand was attacked by spectrals, and the player characters were woken up to deal with this problem, having put in essentially hibernation in order to against this kind of incidents, and they'll get up and go and fight the spectrals as not long after the invasion, after the world had begun to sort of like collapse, using essentially battle suits. And it was essentially the battlesuit expansion for Phoenix Command, so it was not easy, not not easy to learn or play, quite complex. So we open up with the world of Rhand, explanation, some text, and then we move into table of contents. and keep going. And then just pages don't want to come apart. Describing the orca, and the orca is sort of like orca is an organisation descended from sort of like firefighters and emergency medical technicians and civil servants and the like, who are dedicated to keeping civilization going. It's a military and organisation undertaking various missions, and in some ways can be seen as sort of like as the descendant of the wielders of the living still battle suits. Okay, and then we've got an example of essentially creating missions here. And then with an actually for an example, and this is the kind of layout style that Leading Edge do, with quite these wide margins with quotations in the side. They weren't really used for that much more than that. But look at the beginning of another example, then the residents of Rhand. And really, these are not role-playing games with much in the way of illustration, as you can see. So we've got different human groups described here. The alien role-playing game is essentially an alien role-playing game is an exception. I mean, Phoenix Command had illustrations of weapons. Phoenix and then Aliens had sort of stills from the film, as did the role-playing games based upon Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula and The Lawnmower Man. And then we move on to, quite detailed tables like this, which are really kind of hard on the eye. They are not easy to read or use, but there we go. And then we, having sorted out sort of like what you can encounter, this is what you encounter it with, essentially with the character, how the character is described. We've got creation of the character, with quite a bit of arithmetic there involved, and then move on to the system skills and actions in Rhand. And in some ways, what's really breaking up this text is this wide margin with the quotes and pointers. Other than that, it's not particularly interesting to look at. And oh, how we move on to another table, which just dense with information, combat equipment, and then movement, combat and martial arts, so how that is handled in the game. I think one of the issues really is when you're looking at this, if there are examples of here, there are examples of play, but without the illustrations, you're not really getting much in the way of feel for the world. You might, you can't go, what does my character look like? What does a thing look like in this world? I've got a section here on special fighting forms, including, wind form and fire form and so on. So you've got martial arts in here as well. And you don't know what you're facing, really. You don't know who you're dealing with in the setting, because essentially, or you do, but you don't know what they look like. It's really up to the game master to describe, but it is, without those images, it's difficult to cut. The game master has extra work to put into describing. So, and then we've got a section on magic, which is rare in the setting, and clearly you've got air, elemental magic, so earth, air, fire, water, then mental magic, body magic, and astral projection. And then you've got just the spells, so they're the earth spells. fire spells, water. Move on to mental magic and then astral projection, so on, body magic, and then enchanting and implement section, optional rules for magic, and then physical phenomena with terrain generation and travel times, weather. So things which is weather, sighting, sound detection, spreading and flowing fluids. Yeah, very scientific. Fires, breaking down doors and walls, explosions, earthquakes, mob actions and riots. Optional rules and playing aids. So variable weapon and shield actions, glancing blows, damage models, aiming blows, cutting through shields and parries, collisions and tackling, using Rhand with small arms spectrum. Small arms spectrum is a self-contained firearms combat system that covers weapons from early matchlocks to futuristic sliver guns and lasers. So that's kind of a precursor to Phoenix Command. And here we move on to, so we've got that section there. Then we've got some sample missions. And got tables of equipment. Then we've got a map of Rhand, and then more of those tables, or at least those tables reprinted. So those several sections of that. Combat tables. Wow, I was going to say, we do role-playing games differently these days. Looking at the tables are, that's actually the character sheet. That's the character sheet. And then we get to the end. So we've got an advert for Small Action Spectrum Realistic Man-to-Man Combat, 1491 AD to 2060 AD. And then we've got essentially Swords Path Glory, a reference guide, and Rhand hand-to-hand damage supplement. So there's quite a lot of emphasis upon combat in the rule system. So yeah, Rhand Morningstar Missions. Probably more interesting in terms of the setting necessarily than the mechanics. It's probably possibly a bit crunchy these days for many. But anyway, this I believe was Leading Edge's first role-playing game. Rhand Morningstar Missions, published 1984. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a package containing a book or game, or in this case a role-playing game from 1984, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.